Gentlemen, there's a quiet art to complimenting a woman, not the cheesy one-liners or the predictable "you're so hot" comments. I'm talking about the type of compliments that pierce through the noise, touch her core, and make her feel deeply seen. Say this: "I love how you think." This is one of the most underrated, yet deeply effective compliments you can give a woman. Why? Because it touches a place that most men never reach. It bypasses the surface-level flattery and dives straight into her identity, her intellect, her perception of the world, the way she processes things, and the unique way her mind functions. You see, most women hear compliments about their looks constantly. From a young age, society conditions them to believe that their primary value is in their appearance. "You're beautiful," "You're sexy," "You look amazing." These are common, almost automated phrases that women hear every day. And while those words can still carry meaning, they eventually start to blend into the background. They become expected, even rehearsed. But when you stop and say something like, "I love the way your mind works," or "I really admire your perspective on things," you stand out. You enter a rare category of men, those who notice more than the obvious. This type of compliment resonates deeply because it validates something she's actually worked to develop. Intelligence isn't given, it's sharpened over time. It's a product of experience, curiosity, reflection, and growth. When you notice that, you're not just complimenting a fixed trait, you're honoring her evolution. You're telling her, "I see you, not just for your beauty, but for your inner world, your ideas, your creativity, your intellect." And let's go even deeper. Complimenting a woman's mind tells her that you value connection on a higher level. You're not just there for the aesthetics. You're there for the thoughts behind the words, the fire behind her eyes, the logic behind her decisions. It suggests depth. It suggests you're a man who seeks mental intimacy, which, for many women, is far more alluring than physical attraction alone. Women want to feel understood, not just observed or appreciated, but understood. And when you genuinely compliment the way she thinks, you show that you've been paying attention, not to her makeup, not to her outfit, but to her mind. Maybe it's how she solves problems, how she debates, how she thinks before speaking, how she challenges assumptions, or how she brings unique insight into everyday conversations. Maybe it's how she connects dots others miss, or how she can take a chaotic situation and calmly find clarity in it. These things may seem small, but to her they are a major part of her identity. And here's something most men miss. When you show her that you appreciate her mind, you're also inviting her to open up more. She'll start sharing things with you she wouldn't share with others, because she senses that you actually care about what she thinks. She'll dive deeper in conversations. She'll ask you questions back. She'll want to know how your mind works. And that's where emotional chemistry begins, not in the bedroom, but in the mind. So when you tell her, "I love how you think," don't just say it and move on. Be specific, follow it up, mention a time when her insight really impressed you, recall a conversation that stuck with you, reference a perspective she shared that shifted your own thinking. When you do this, the compliment becomes real, it becomes anchored in truth. And that's when it hits the hardest, because every woman wants to feel beautiful, yes, but when you make her feel intellectually captivating, that's the compliment she remembers. That's the one she tells her friends about. That's the one that lingers in her mind when she's alone at night, replaying the words in her head, wondering why your voice and your presence felt different. Say this: "I noticed how much work you put into this." At first glance, it might seem like a simple acknowledgement, But this kind of compliment strikes at the heart of something deeply human, the desire to be recognized, not just for results, but for the unseen effort behind them. In a world where everyone applauds the final product, the trophy, the big moment, very few people pause to honor the process that got someone there. And that's exactly what makes this kind of compliment so powerful. Women, like anyone, often put tremendous energy into the little things that go unnoticed, the details of their appearance, the tone of their texts, the emotional labor they carry in relationships, the mental juggling act of careers, family, self-image, personal growth, all of it. So when a man takes the time to say, "I see the effort," she hears something much deeper. She hears, "You're not invisible." That statement alone can shift the dynamic in a relationship, because most women aren't used to being recognized on that level. They're used to being told, "You look good," but rarely are they told, "You must have spent a lot of time making this work." That kind of compliment carries emotional weight. Let's say she planned a night out, cooked dinner, organized a small event, or even just dressed up a little differently, maybe wore her hair in a new way. Most guys might say, "You look nice," and sure, that's fine, but if you look deeper and say, "I can tell you put thought into this," it tells her that your attention isn't superficial, you're not just consuming her beauty, you're paying attention to her intention. You're acknowledging the fact that she cared enough to try and that speaks volumes. Even more subtle examples include the emotional work she does, holding space for you during a hard time, staying up late to listen when you're venting, putting in effort to understand you even when you struggle to express yourself. That emotional investment is labor. It's invisible to the untrained eye, but if you catch it and say, "I really see how much you've been doing for me," or "I don't take your effort for granted," she'll feel a rush of validation she rarely gets. When you consistently notice and affirm her effort, you become something incredibly rare in her life, a safe space. A man who notices not just her outcomes. This changes the entire foundation of your connection. She begins to feel valued not for what she achieves, but for who she is when no one's clapping. That's a level of emotional intimacy most people never reach. And what's more, this kind of compliment motivates. Not in a manipulative way, but in a very human way. When people feel seen and appreciated for their efforts, they naturally want to keep giving. A woman who feels deeply noticed will continue to open herself to you, trust you, and invest in the relationship, not because she's trying to earn love, but because she already feels secure in it. It's also important to note that this compliment doesn't require a grand gesture. You don't have to wait for her to pull off something big. Even in the small, everyday actions, making time for you, picking up on your mood, remembering the little things you've said, you can say, "I noticed that." Those words can land harder than the loudest praise, because they prove that you're that you're not coasting through the connection passively, you're awake to it. Ultimately, when you tell a woman, "I see how hard you're trying," or "I appreciate the energy you're putting in," it becomes a mirror for her soul. You're reflecting back something she's probably too humble or tired to point out herself. And in doing that, you become more than just another man in her life. You become the one who actually sees her. Say this, "I feel calmer when I'm around you." This kind of compliment isn't about looks, accomplishments, or even effort. It's about energy, her presence, her essence, the atmosphere she creates simply by being in the room. And when you say something like this to a woman, you're doing something few men ever think to do. You're acknowledging the emotional impact she has on you. You're telling her that who she is, beneath the surface, has a tangible, grounding effect on your state of mind. That's not just flattering, it's intimate. Women are often expected to do so much in relationships. Be supportive, be nurturing, be understanding, be patient. But rarely do they hear feedback about what it feels like to simply be around them. Not for what they say or do, but for what they radiate. This kind of compliment shifts the frame completely. Instead of evaluating her based on action, you're appreciating her based on presence. That's powerful because presence is something deeply tied to her authenticity. When you tell her she brings you calmness, you're telling her that being her natural self has value, that her vibe, her tone, her way of moving through the world makes your world better. And here's where it gets deeper. When a woman hears this, she begins to feel safe. Safe in the sense that she's not being judged or measured. She's being felt. That kind of emotional recognition isn't just rare, it's transformational. It sends a message: you don't need to perform for me. You don't need to impress me. Who you are, as you are, is enough, and who you are has an effect on me. This is the emotional equivalent of opening a door to deeper connection. It invites her to bring more of her real self into the space with you. Think about it. Life is stressful. Everyone's battling internal wars, dealing with pressure, constantly pushed to achieve, to hustle, to push through. When you find someone who soothes that chaos, even just by existing near you, that's not something to take for granted. And when you express that to her, you're giving her a kind of compliment that goes way beyond the typical "you're so amazing." You're telling her, "You help me breathe easier." That's something she'll carry with her. It also changes the dynamic of how she sees you, because a man who can recognize and speak about his emotional states, who can say, "I feel peace when I'm with you," is not only emotionally intelligent, but emotionally available. That's a rare trait. You're showing her that you're not afraid to be vulnerable in a strong way, not weak, but aware. You're not afraid to let her know that she affects you, and not just in some carnal or superficial way, but in a spiritual, grounding way. And that breeds emotional closeness faster than any gift or romantic gesture ever could. And here's another layer. Women often carry stress too. They may not always show it. In fact, many women are experts at putting on a calm exterior, even when they're struggling internally. So when you tell her that she makes you feel calm, it gives her a moment of peace too. She feels like she's providing something without trying, just by existing. That creates confidence. That makes her feel not just liked or desired, but valuable. This kind of compliment also builds trust. If she knows that being with you isn't going to be a high-pressure, emotionally chaotic experience, that you're tuned in, grounded, and willing to express these subtle things, she'll naturally want to be around you more. She'll open up more. She'll trust you with deeper parts of her personality, her past, her dreams, because now she knows that you're not just interested in what she shows the world, but in what she is when no one's watching. So when you say, "I feel calmer around you," and you mean it, you're offering her something more than just approval. You're offering her a mirror that reflects back her deepest value, not what she gives, not what she does, but what she is. And to most women, that's the kind of compliment they remember for the rest of their lives. Say this: "You bring out the best in me. This compliment speaks on a level that goes far beyond admiration. It taps into identity, transformation, and the role she plays in your evolution as a man. It tells her, without needing to spell it out, that her presence in your life doesn't just make you feel good. It makes you better. And that, for any human being, is one of the most validating things they can ever hear. You're not simply saying she's attractive or fun to be around. You're telling her she inspires something noble in you. She makes you want to rise, to evolve, to stretch into a version of yourself that's more disciplined, more intentional, more grounded. That's a high compliment, not just for her, but for the dynamic you share. It's important to understand why this type of compliment hits differently. When a woman feels like she enhances your life on a deep level, not by trying to control you or change you, but just by being herself, she feels safe and appreciated. You're not putting pressure on her to improve you. You're not placing responsibility on her shoulders. What you're doing is acknowledging that something about her, the way she speaks, how she holds herself, how she approaches life, has a positive, natural influence on you. You might feel more focused since meeting her. Maybe you've started taking better care of your health, managing your emotions more skillfully, or approaching your goals with more fire. These are the kinds of internal shifts that a powerful connection can spark. And when you verbalize it to her, you make her feel like she matters. Now, most people don't get to hear that they're making someone better. We often walk through life wondering if we're making an impact, wondering if our energy, our presence, our way of being actually contributes something meaningful. So when a man she respects turns to her and says, "You bring out the best in me," it lands as more than a compliment. It's a moment of deep emotional truth. It tells her you have influence, and your influence is good. That creates a sense of emotional security that no material gift can replicate. This compliment also carries a lot of weight because it involves self-awareness. It shows that you're not just coasting through life unconsciously. You're paying attention to your own growth. You're watching how you behave, how you respond, how you carry yourself in this relationship. And you're mature enough to give credit where it's due. That makes you stand out. You become the kind of man who doesn't just take from a relationship, but who reflects on it, who recognizes when something is truly good for his soul and isn't afraid to say so. It's not about idolizing her or putting her on a pedestal. It's about balance. It's about showing her that the relationship is an ecosystem. You bring something to her life, and she brings something to yours. It's a mutual elevation. That's the kind of partnership people crave, whether they admit it or not. And this simple compliment encapsulates that dynamic perfectly. It makes her feel like her presence is a source of light, not just for herself, but for you. That her existence brings more clarity, more emotional discipline, more direction to your life. And the beauty of this compliment is that it invites her into your internal world. She gets a glimpse of how you feel in your skin when you're around her. Maybe you feel more masculine, more in control, more focused, more capable. Maybe her calmness stabilizes your fire. Maybe her passion fuels your ambition. Maybe her kindness challenges your pride. Whatever it is, when you share that with her, she feels seen and significant. Not because you need her, but because you value her influence. And this isn't about becoming someone else for her. It's about becoming more of who you truly are, because her energy gives you permission, inspiration, and encouragement to do so. A great woman doesn't make you into someone different. She makes you feel more like yourself. And when you tell her that, you're giving her a level of emotional recognition that most people go years without receiving. So when you say, "You bring out the best in me," and back it up with specifics, how she challenges your thinking, how she calms your anger, how she makes you more patient, more present, more mindful. It's not just flattery, it's evidence, it's proof that she matters, that she affects you, that her presence in your life has not gone unnoticed, and that she is not just loved or wanted, but respected. And respect, when combined with admiration, becomes the foundation of true emotional intimacy. Say this, "You have such a good heart." This kind of compliment cuts through surface-level attraction and touches something far more enduring: her character. In a world that often reduces women to how they look, how they speak, or how they perform, telling her she has a good heart is like giving her soul a place to breathe. It's not about what she can give you, how she entertains you, or how well she plays a role in your life. It's about who she is at her core, her values, her empathy, her warmth, her sense of humanity. When you recognize that, you're stepping into a level of emotional depth that very few people ever reach in their interactions. You see, we live in a society that constantly rewards the loudest, the boldest, and the most visible forms of beauty. Flash gets attention, but a good heart, that's subtle, that's often hidden behind modesty, behind acts of service, behind patience and grace when no one's watching. A woman with a good heart is usually the kind who thinks about others before herself, who's kind to people who can't give her anything in return, who forgives when she doesn't have to, who gives people the benefit of the doubt, even when she's been hurt. That kind of strength doesn't scream for attention, it whispers through action. So when you stop and tell her, "You have such a good heart," you're telling her, "I see the things you don't think anyone notices." And that's powerful, because women who truly have good hearts are often taken for granted. They're the ones who listen without interrupting, who check in on you without needing a reason, who go out of their way to make others feel seen. They're the ones who carry the emotional labor in relationships, not because they have to, but because they care. And after a while, that care can start to feel like a responsibility, like something people expect instead of something people appreciate. So when you take the time to recognize that inner goodness, you're doing more than complimenting her. You're relieving her of that invisible weight. You're telling her you don't have to be anything more than who you already are. Who you are is enough. This kind of compliment also creates an emotional echo, because when someone hears that their heart is good, it reinforces their identity in the best possible way. It makes them want to continue being that person, not out of obligation, but out of pride. You're not just affirming her kindness, you're protecting it. You're giving her a reason to believe that her softness, her empathy, her emotional generosity haven't gone to waste in a world that often rewards hardness. And here's something else. This compliment builds trust, deep trust, because it tells her you're not just looking at what she can do for you, you're looking at what she stands for. That you care about more than the exterior, that you're paying attention to her choices, her ethics, the way she handles people, the way she treats strangers, the way she handles pain without turning bitter. When you admire someone's heart, you're admiring something they chose to build. Character is not an accident. It's the result of years of decisions, mistakes, healing, and reflection. So when you compliment her heart, you're telling her, "I honor the woman you've become." And this goes even deeper. When you speak to her heart, you also invite her into emotional safety. You show her that you're someone who values kindness over manipulation, grace over dominance, sincerity over games. You give her permission to relax into her femininity, her warmth, her emotional intelligence, because she knows she's not going to be punished for being soft. She knows she won't be used for her compassion or taken for granted. She knows she's with someone who sees that her emotional generosity is a asterisk strength, asterisk, not a weakness. And here's where many men fall short. They compliment beauty, style, or sex appeal, but they don't take the time to notice what asterisk drives asterisk that beauty. What's behind it? But when you say something like, "You have such a good heart," you're cutting through the noise. You're placing value on something eternal, something that won't fade with time, something that only grows stronger with love and attention. You're making her feel safe to be good, to be gentle, to be real. This kind of compliment doesn't just make her smile, it roots itself in her identity. It stays with her, long after the conversation ends, long after the moment has passed, because in that one sentence you didn't just see her, you understood her, and in a world full of people who look without seeing and take without thanking, that level of recognition is everything. Say this: "I admire how passionate you are about the things you love." This compliment goes beyond the typical praise and hits at the essence of what drives her. You're not just telling her that you like what she does. You're saying you respect asterisk, why asterisk she does it. You're acknowledging the fire inside her, the part of her that wakes up thinking about her dreams, that dives headfirst into her interests, that lights up when she talks about something that matters to her. You're seeing the intensity, the depth, the commitment behind her actions, and instead of feeling intimidated by it, you're drawn to it. You're telling her that her passion is not only seen, but appreciated. And that kind of recognition is rare, especially for women who are often made to feel like they need to dim their fire to be likable. When a woman is truly passionate about something, whether it's her career, a creative outlet, a cause, a hobby, it becomes part of her identity. It's not just something she does, it's something that gives her life color. It's a source of meaning. So when you point that out and say, "I admire how passionate you are," you're showing her that you're not afraid of her intensity. You're not just here for comfort or attraction. You're here to witness and honor the parts of her that most people don't take the time to understand. Most people overlook passion. They may see the result of it, her accomplishments, her drive, her ambition, but they don't always pause to appreciate the emotional engine behind it. The long nights, the sacrifices, the fears she faces, the times she pushed through exhaustion because something inside her wouldn't let her quit. By complimenting her passion, you're indirectly honoring her discipline, her courage, and her unwillingness to settle. You're telling her, "I see the fire in you, and it inspires me." And here's what makes this type of compliment truly powerful. It allows her to feel both feminine and powerful in your presence. So many women are conditioned to believe that being intense or driven somehow makes them too much, that being ambitious makes them intimidating, that being deeply invested in something makes them hard to love. But when you admire her passion, you flip that narrative. You make her feel like her drive is not a burden, it's a blessing, that her hunger for more doesn't scare you, it attracts you, that her fire doesn't threaten your masculinity, it challenges it in the best way possible. This also says a lot about you asterisk. A man who can recognize and verbalize admiration for a woman's passion is a man who is confident in himself. You're not threatened by her power, you're excited by it. That says you're not trying to control her or contain her. You're trying to connect with her. You're telling her, I want to be in the presence of your greatness, not in control of it. That's an incredibly attractive quality in a man. It creates space for her to grow, to express more, to dive even deeper into the things that make her feel alive, knowing she has someone in her corner who doesn't just tolerate her intensity, but celebrates it. And let's not forget, passion isn't always about professional goals or artistic pursuits. It can show up in her relationships, in how she loves, in how fiercely she protects those she cares about. It can show up in how she speaks up when something feels unjust, how she devotes herself to causes that matter, how she shows up for friends when they're in pain. Passion is emotion with direction, and when a woman channels that kind of emotional energy into anything, it's a powerful thing. To acknowledge it is to show her that you're not blind to her essence. This kind of compliment also builds intimacy, because when you say you admire her passion, she'll likely open up about the things she deeply cares about. And when she does, don't just nod along, ask questions, get curious, let her teach you, let her inspire you, let her see that you're not just admiring her from a distance, but that you're genuinely interested in what fuels her. That kind of shared curiosity is magnetic. It deepens your emotional connection and shows her that your interest isn't just physical or casual. It's rooted in something real. What's also beautiful about complimenting a woman's passion is that it can help her reclaim it. Maybe she's been in environments where her passion was criticized, mocked, or dismissed. Maybe she was told she was too much, or that she needed to calm down or be more realistic. When you come into her life and say, I admire how passionate you are, you're offering a kind of emotional healing. You're helping her see that her passion is not a liability, it's a gift, and with the right person, that gift can be nurtured and appreciated, not suppressed. So this one sentence, though simple on the surface, carries massive weight. It tells her, I see what makes you come alive, and I love watching you live in that fire. It makes her feel seen in a way that has nothing to do with her looks and everything to do with her spirit. And that kind of compliment, that's the one she'll think about when she's chasing her goals, when she's doubting herself, when she's wondering if it's all worth it, because now she knows someone out there doesn't just love her because of what she does. Someone loves her for it. So when you use these kinds of compliments, not just as words, but as reflections of genuine admiration, you create something far deeper than attraction. You create emotional resonance. You make her feel seen, respected, and valued in a way that reaches beyond the surface. And when a woman feels that, when she senses that you recognize her soul, not just her smile, she doesn't just fall for you. She connects with you, she trusts you, she begins to imagine a future with you, because it's not the compliments alone that move her, it's the truth behind them. So speak with intention, admire with clarity, and always let her know you see her for who she truly is. And that is the foundation of something real.